association that raised money to fight Jim Crow laws. Additionally, Baker was a key organizer for Martin Luther King Jr.'s Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC. But what was perhaps her biggest contribution to the movement was the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, which prioritized nonviolent protests, assisted in organizing the 1961 Freedom Rides, and aided in registering black voters. The Ella Baker Center for Human Rights exists today to carry on her legacy. Benjamin O. Davis Sr. was the first black general in the American military. He served for 50 years as a temporary first lieutenant at an all-black unit during the Spanish-American War. Throughout his service, Davis Sr. was a professor of military science at Tuskegee and Wilberforce University.
Okay, yep, sure. Jennifer DeLeo.
Because one, it's our broadcast on the eve of a snowstorm. So you can check out this broadcast on a number of ways. You can hit us up on KUAW.org. You can also go to. Are we good?
No, I think that's coming from Zoom.
You mind muting your microphone, Mr. Leo?
Maybe getting that feedback with the two.
Okay, cool.
Try it now.
All right, you can check out this broadcast on a number of ways. You can hit us up on You guessed it. Type in KUAW. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, call us at 816-599-6893. And if you have any other questions that you want to email us at, you can hit us up at KUAWLP98.5.FM at gmail.com. So, like I said, this is RMS Radio, and we have some more students that should be coming in. But like I said, due to the pending snowstorm, they may come in, they may not, but the main thing is we want our students to be safe. So we were able to get Miss Abby in, who's one of our rock stars here, and we have a couple of teachers here on the panel as well, too. So we're going to have a very, very nice, healthy discussion. So, Abby, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So on the screen right now, live from Zoom land, we have Mrs. Jennifer DeLeo. Mrs. Jennifer DeLeo is our Teacher of the Year at Raytown Middle School. So congratulations. Oh, thank you. So you are here, and Abby's going to ask you a few questions. She has you in the hot seat, live from your Zoom living room. So she has. So I'm going to go ahead and let Abby do her thing.
What made you want to become a teacher?
Ooh, good question, Abby. I always wanted to be a teacher, ever since I was little. I used to teach my brother all the time. I had this big chalkboard in my bedroom, and I would tell him everything I did at school that day and teach him everything that I learned.
That's really cool. If you didn't teach geography, what would you teach and why?
If I didn't teach geography and American history, I would teach English still, because I really do like teaching English, especially reading and the novels.
What do you think you were picked for Teacher of the Year?
I don't know. I feel like maybe just because I've been there for so long.
No, that's because you're really awesome. That's why you got.
Oh, that's very nice of you, Mr. Gellers.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I'm any different than any of the other teachers in the building. I think everybody could be teacher of the year at our school.
Yeah, I mean, we have a very talented staff, and Abby, you have a unique situation. Mr. Leo is one of your teachers. I'm one of your teachers, and you have Mrs. Ernst right next door. So, let me ask you this question: if someone were to ask you, a student, what traits should a good teacher have, what would you say?
A teacher that listens to their students and asks them questions if they understand.
Okay. Listening is a big deal. And we say that all the time in class that we must listen and must pay attention because communication is very vital and it's very strong. We just got Lexi that just popped up on the screen. How you doing, Lexi?
I'm good.
All right. And side note, last time we were on the air, Lexi kind of gave me a hard time, and she gave me a hard time again today. She told me not to wear green because I turned purple last time we were on the air. So am I good now, Lexi?
I can't see you.
Well, we're going to work you out. Maybe it's a blessing in the sky. But Lexi, since you popped in, we just got through interviewing Ms. DeLeo. And Ms. DeLeo, you don't mind hanging out with us for a little while, do you?
No, I don't mind.
Okay, excellent. So, Lexi, we just asked the question, what are some of the traits of a good teacher? What would you say?
I would say helping a kid when you see that they struggling instead of like, I guess like giving them to the principal to handle the situation, and like actually building a good bond and relationship with the child.
Okay, a good bond and a good relationship. That's real good. Let's go ahead and go around the table. Mr. DeLeo, if you don't mind, what would you think the traits of a good teacher would be?
I think building relationships with the kids, being patient, I think that's important. Seeing who's struggling and reaching out to them. Having fun with the kids, I think that's important too. So all those things.
Okay, Ms. Ernst?
I definitely agree with the good listening. The other thing is having an open mind and being somebody that they can trust or kind of lean on when they need you.
I like that a lot, Miss Ernst, the trusting each other.
Yeah, trust is huge. I know, and that's one thing we talked about in class too. I see Lexi nodding and Abby too. If I were to ask that question, answer the question. Oh man, I mean, you all said all the good stuff. I would also say to not be afraid to leave the classroom, because in our profession now, you see a lot of people who become teachers just to become administrators, and nothing wrong with that. However, kids need consistency, and they want to see you a lot. They want to see you all the time. So I would say have that consistency, wanting to do what you are there for. Also being that listening ear, that watchful eye, and also like kind of like how I run my classroom. Be that parent in the school building. Be an extension of that household for the students, because my advisory class, I mean, they are literally like my kids. Like every morning, it's like I walk in the classroom and it's like being at the house because they're all my kids. Also in our classroom too. I mean Abby, she's a great kid. It's like a lot of things that I do, she do. So we have a lot of commonalities. So having that connectivity too. So that's what I would think as far as traits of a good teacher. So. Also, I want to let everyone know, too, that normally we do, like, teacher table talks, but now we have students and teachers together discussing education. So this is a first for RMS Radio. So, okay, so we talked about traits of a good teacher, and we have not one but two teachers of the year in our midst right now. Mrs. Ernst won 2 years ago, and Mrs. DeLeo is our current teacher of the year right now. So, for our panel, if you could break down the criteria for Teacher of the Year, what would that criteria look like? And to jump in whenever you feel the groove. That's how we do it here at RMS Radio, right?
I think one of the criteria would be how much you contribute to the school itself, as far as contributing, like creating different avenues for kids to do different things, being a part of clubs, like just being involved in the school with kids outside of being in the classroom type of thing.
Okay.
I would agree with that. And working with kids, when you see that they're struggling, you can stay after with them, spend some time with them. I think that's important.
Lexi or Abby, what do you think?
The teacher should be patient with their students instead of getting mad quickly.
I like that. You know, having slow to anger. Yeah, like I need help. Whirr! Yeah, it's not. Anything else, Abby?
Respecting the students like they expect from us.
Okay. Lex?
I would be like opening up new opportunities. Like you see a kid can do better, but they're not trying to push them to their full potential.
Okay. Let's see, if I could pick a criteria piece, I would say, again, you all said all the good stuff. So I would probably say being able to fit into different areas of the school building, you know. Like Mrs. Ernst and Mrs. DeLeo both are, not only are they classroom teachers, but they're also teacher leaders, mentors, I believe, building leadership team. Mrs. Ernst, you had a club, student senate. Ms. DeLeo, you did chess club. A couple of years ago, we did houses, so they were very influential with that as far as building relationships with staff. So, yeah, so like I think everything we all said just encompassed what these two young ladies have. So that is a pretty dope criteria that we kind of laid out too. Maybe, hopefully, you know, we can throw that up in there. But being that we're talking about criteria, Teacher of the Year typically is picked by teachers. Now, a discussion that we had in classroom and in advisory was students. If students could have an input on picking Teacher of the Year. So I kind of want to hear from my students first. What would that look like if students were able to pick Teacher of the Year? If someone said, hey, look, you need to make this up, how would it look for students? How would it look?
I feel like they would need to have, like, from your teachers you have experience with, you would choose from them, possibly do it in your advisory class, or have, like, a vote.
Okay. All right.
I don't really know.
We blindsided you? Cause yeah, I mean, just think about it. Like, I mean, if you could pick Teacher of the Year, I mean, how would it look if students could do that?
I feel like if students could pick Teacher of the Year, there would be a lot of teachers who would win over and over and over again.
Okay.
Because those are who actually work with the kids and not just like there to be there.
Okay. And Lexi, do me a small favor. Next time you talk a little bit closer to your camera so we can hear you a little bit better. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, so I like that because every year we have Teacher of the Year, and of course the kids applaud who wins. But I mean, I think we all have that conversation. You know, could we pick next time, or could we pick? So let's ask you want to ask the adults what they think? Go ahead.
What do you think, Miss Ernst?
As far as what it would look like if kids did the voting, or kids, I like talking about the advisory and choosing teachers that you have, but I also think that there's relationships that are built outside of the classroom as well with coaches. And so I think you would need to take into consideration not just your classroom teachers, but as well as your coaches, and maybe even your club, people that run the clubs and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think there would have to be like an interviewing process that students would interview teachers and have those conversations of, you know, why do you think you would be teacher of the year? Just that kind of interaction.
Okay. Anybody want to ask Ms. DeLeo?
Ms. DeLeo, how do you feel about kids voting?
Thank you, Lexi. I agree with Ms. Ernst about including not just your classroom teachers. I love the idea of an interview process. And maybe that could be something that went along with either broadcasting or yearbook, where they work together to come up with some kind of process to do that. And then at the end of the year, someone could be highlighted.
Okay. I do like that. The interview process, that is good, like a panel of teachers and students, or a mixed panel, of individuals, and I'll get to that next. But if students could do it, I would say I like the voting. And I know some people think that if students did it, it'd be a popularity contest. But if you really think about it, though, I mean, we've been teaching for years. You young ladies have been going to school for years. I think it's safe to say that kids know who's there for them and who's not there for them. So I would have to agree with everything you ladies said. I think you've hit the nail on the head with that one. Now, we said kids, students. What about parents? Do you think parents should have a say-so as well, too?
Definitely.
Okay, why?
Because sometimes teachers will interact with the parents, and parents have a big say with if kids are complaining to them. That's a component. Also, a lot of kids do tell their parents a lot, and teachers do call, and it could be annoying or anything like that. They have a big say in that too.
Okay, right. Your parents have a huge say-so. Because when all comes down to it, whatever your parents say is law, right? All right. Okay. What do you think, Les? Do you think parents should jump in?
Yeah, I think parents should help them because I feel like they know what's best for their kids, so they also can pick and choose what teacher they feel are actually helping out their kids.
What do you think, Miss Ernst?
I think parents should be involved, and I think a lot of it would have to do with that teacher-parent communication. So, when you're reaching out during grade time, or when you're reaching out, not necessarily just for behaviors, but reaching out as well for positive behaviors as well. So, yeah, I think you should have parents involved, and I think they should be looking at it like, how do you communicate with me about my child? And how do you connect with me and my child?
Okay.
Mr. Leah, how do you feel about this topic?
I think that maybe it could be some kind of a combination of all three somehow.
Yeah.
I think I'm losing my internet connection. It's saying it's unstable. Hopefully it stables out.
I know, we still see you.
Not to be very social studies and all, but maybe a combination of all three, and then have some kind of how we use an electoral college for voting, something like that. Have some kind of situation where you can use the input from all.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I mean, the whole connection piece, like the panel of your peers and the people you serve and the parents of the people that you serve as well too. So I think that is that's very powerful, because then you can have people kind of have conversations and talk and say, hey, what do you think about this person or whatever. Yeah, because I know I've talked to both parents of the young ladies that are here. I know Lexi's mom is real on it. I know Abby's parents are real on it as well too, and I know they have very strong expectations for their students. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, okay, there she is. Okay, I thought we lost Mr. Leo. I said, oh no, we gotta find her. Send out the search team.
You did lose me for a minute. Sorry. I think it's the weather.
But you back now. So do we all agree that it's okay to have students and parents join teachers in the selection process too?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Now, I want to kind of jump to another topic real quick. I know we're talking about teachers of the year, good teachers and everything like that. And one thing that came up in class was a conversation that Lexi and I had, and we kind of brought it up in our class too. And Mrs. Ernst, we talked about it a lot as well. We talked about, we're talking about good teachers. With it being Black History Month, happy Black History Month to everyone, as well as happy Chinese New Year. I do want to say that we have a situation where there's a lack of teachers of color in the classroom. So let's go ahead and kind of shift gears a little bit because, like I said, you've been teaching for years. I guess I'm in there too. I'm not old, right? Okay. And you two young ladies have been in school for a long time too. So let's talk about the importance of teachers of color in the classroom. Now, please be advised that in our school district, we have a large population of students of color, yet our teaching population does not really reflect it. So let's talk about that.
I feel like if there was more teachers of color, certain students may connect with them more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, connectivity is good. Now, one thing I do like, though, in our building, we have teachers who are not of color. They do have very strong connections with students, and we have 2 of them right here as well, too. But I do like the whole connectivity piece. You made a strong point.
I think it's powerful to see yourself in the instructor that's in front of you teaching you these lessons. I think that's powerful, and I think that's important. And so when you have a high population of children of color, they should see that same vision in front of them on a daily basis, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, you might see more children of color going into the education field as well.
Right, and we definitely need that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody else? The importance of teachers of color in the classroom. Mm-hmm.
I think it would help students feel more comfortable when it comes to certain topics and situations that they don't necessarily feel comfortable talking about to other races of teachers.
Yeah, you made a good point. Lexi said teaching certain topics because now, Mrs. Leo, you teach history and you taught English before. Mrs. Ernst, same thing, history and English. Me, history and English. There's a particular book, To Kill a Mockingbird, that we teach. And there's just some things that some teachers just don't feel comfortable discussing. However, some teachers do feel comfortable discussing it based on who they are, where they're from, or whatnot. So yeah, the comfort level, that was powerful. All right, Ms. Leah, what do you think?
I agree. I totally agree with that. And even on a different level, I know this isn't the same thing at all, but just being female and teaching social studies when I was growing up, they were all men teachers. So like I come about it in a different way sometimes. So I totally understand why it's very important to have people that present, you look like you, be your teacher as well in these situations. Yeah.
Yeah, because you made a good point. Because when I was growing up, all my history teachers were all male until I got, I want to say high school. I don't think it was even high school. But there was a guy that I went to college with. He was the Associate Dean of Diversity, Howard Milton. I think it's Dr. Howard Milton now. And if he's watching Champaign, Illinois, you all got a good brother over there. But he took us throughout the school building, and he showed us something. It was a silent tour. And I kind of had this conversation with my students, too. And he said, if you notice, when you look through a school, you see most of your classified people are people of color. And when I say classified, those are people who aren't teaching. However, when you look in the classroom, predominantly white female. And he said that's not cool. because that's not a reflection of your population. So like in our school building, we have a nice number of people of color that are teaching. African American, we have Hispanic, we have Asian. We have a nice little mix. I will say one thing I will say about Dr. May is she does a pretty good job recruiting people who are very diverse. She has a very diverse school building, and I just wish that other schools in the nation would kind of take follow her lead on that, because it is very important that students, like you said, see, okay, this can be me, or this is me talking to myself, because I don't know. I think a lot of problems would be fixed if we had more diverse things going on in schools. I know I've had the conversation in advisory. Like we talk about this like almost daily about stuff in the classroom too. But let's talk about diversity though. What would an ideal diverse school look like? So, teachers, what would an ideal diverse school look like teaching? Students, what would an ideal school look like attending? I know we kind of jumped off script, but it all connects.
I feel like there would be all races, all religions, so everybody can feel included.
Okay.
Lexi, I agree with you. That's nicely put. Well put.
Yeah.
I think you'd want to have people with different backgrounds as well, people from, the city, the suburbs, rural communities as well coming in. And I agree with the religion aspect of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like certain teachers teaching certain subjects that they know more about.
Ooh. Like they're experts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mr. Leo, you said you agree with Lexi?
I do agree with Lexi. I do.
Yeah.
And it should represent the population of the kids.
Mm-hmm. I look at like, it's war. We are fighting against, ignorance. And when I say ignorance, I mean the absence of education. So it's good warfare to have different and diverse ways of fighting. So when you have different backgrounds, different cultures, different religions, different differences working together, that's more powerful. Like look at the human body. You got everything in the human body doing different stuff. The brain does its own thing. The heart does her own thing. The liver does their own thing. The appendix, we don't know what it does. So because mine is gone. But like we have all these different parts of our body working together to make us move, and that's the model of education. Well, that should be the model of education, right? I mean, and also I'm gonna take it a step further because it's one of my pedagogies in class. Is that I feel that students should also teach teachers too. Mm-hmm. Because I got two individuals that correct me in a heartbeat. Lexi and Abby's picking up where you left off. But I like that though. I don't get mad. I think it's cool that they say, Mr. Gathers, you made a mistake. Or, hey, you forgot to post this. Or, hey, let me help you with this. So I think giving students the opportunity to teach as well too and present and be more vocal, that's teaching students how to use their voice, and it's also teaching adults how to be patient and also to have that humility as well too. So
I agree. I learn something from the kids every day.
Mm-hmm.
I would also agree. I was subbing for a class, and one of the students, Marcus, I can't remember his last name, taught me about Blookit. And I was like, what is this all about? And so then he started showing me, and then he kind of took over the class I was subbing and basically ran the class using Blookit. And then I took it back to my class, and the kids were loving it. And I was just like, this is so great. So I learned a new teaching tool from a student. It was cool.
I learned what an op was. And like every morning, my advisory, it's like, I wouldn't say every morning, it's like, I don't know, it's like they always teach me something. Like, I just sit back and I'm like, Lexi, am I telling the truth?
Yeah, we always having different conversations.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay. And also in class too. So I learned a lot about technology also. Like It was funny because my iPhone, I couldn't get something right. Was you in you were in class that day when I was like, how do I get this thing to enlarge? And your classmate came by and said, just do that. And I looked at her like, so yeah, with technology. So I mean, I think there's a wealth of knowledge that students can do. So how are we doing on time? We doing good on time? Excellent.
About 20-something minutes.
Okay, cool. Let's give a weather update. How's the weather outside? We still good on the weather? There's no windows in the studio. I mean, we could put a window on the green screen, but that wouldn't be right.
Yeah.
Lexi, how's the weather over there?
Last time I looked at the weather, it wasn't doing anything, but I know they did cancel school. So
Okay,
something's
so
going on.
according to Lexi, our resident meteorologist, she said it's not really doing anything right now, but you said some schools are canceling, correct?
No, our school is canceled.
Okay, so the Raytown School District is canceled for tomorrow. I know Academy Lafayette's canceled for tomorrow. KCPS is canceled for tomorrow. Brookside is canceled for tomorrow. Those are the ones I know right now. And yeah, hopefully I got some food. Go ahead, Lexi.
Kaufman is canceled for tomorrow too.
Who?
The Kaufman School.
The Kaufman School is canceled for tomorrow also too. Okay, so as of right now, it's not doing much outside, just misting. So we're in a good spot. Cool, thank you. Lexi, she up there with Gary Lezak and Brian Busby and that lady on Fox 4 in the morning, Ritter. I can see Lexi right now. Y'all get out the way. I'm gonna do the weather. All right, I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna read some teacher shout outs from some of the kids. And one thing I like about Broadcast Club and working with students is students always surprise us. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna read through some of these teacher shout outs. All right, we have Miss Riley because she's nice. Miss Bridget because she works hard and puts up with bad behavior while having Rudy and still being nice. Rudy's her what is it called? Service dog. Yeah, Rudy's a cool little cat, but he's a dog. Mr. Rick, he is really funny and he's really nice. Mrs. Sadler, she's pretty cool. Mr. David Johnson because he is really funny and chill, and Mr. Matt Campbell because he is chill and he likes the class to be chill. Okay. Good to hear kids say this stuff. Let's see. We have this is from Miss Lexi. Do you remember yours? Or do you remember who you said?
Yeah, I did.
Go ahead.
I do. I shout out Miss Young because she just recently got leg surgery and she's still up moving around, helping kids out with cooking and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was cool. I agree with that because Miss Young, she was kind of messed up a little bit and she still came in there. And shout out to Mr. Darrington. He would go and help her out too, make sure she got to work okay and everything. Tom Darrington is like the silent hero of Raytown Middle School. But the thing I liked about Miss Young, I want to echo on that, is I would go in class and she would let me assist the students and, help them cook stuff or let me use the microwave and all that. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, seeing her in there, letting the kids do their thing. And, she really mastered differentiated instruction while she was down because the kids knew what to do. All right, so we got Miss Barchek because this student said Miss Barchek because her friend's in the same class as she. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I just turned down the mic.
Okay, they can hear me? Okay. All right. Then we have one of our Broadcast Club students who couldn't make it in, Patience. She said Miss Morales because she's funny and nice. Class is never boring. Also, when she will go over the work to make sure we understand. Then we have Miss Riley. She's kind and always helps no matter what. Let's see, Miss Bridget again, really fun and does a lot of stuff for us. Mr. D. Johnson is very laid back and also gets a lot of treats to earn and also very nice and funny. Okay, so they just said he got treats, so we're going to go raid his classroom. Yeah. Let's see, then we have Miss Bridget again because she's so sweet and considers our feelings. She's also funny. And someone said Miss Naharo, period. I agree with that. Miss Naharo's a new teacher, and she's on point. Let's see. Mr. Rick, he's funny. He helps us learn to play instruments. He's kind. And then Abby, here's yours. Do you remember who you said? Go ahead.
I want to shout out Mr. Gethers because he keeps it real, 1, and 2, he's funny and I feel I can come to him.
Oh, I know that guy. Thank you. And you also said this man right here, too.
I also want to shout out Mr. Bulk because he makes me laugh.
Okay. And let's see. Then we have Mr. David Johnson. He's nice and makes learning fun. And Miss Miller, because Molly and Apple Pie. Those are her 2 pets in the classroom. And then Miss Bridget because of her puppy dog. So it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, Mrs. Leo, about you said we got a building full of teachers of the year. And I think the students just said that. You know, Lexi said that. Abby just said that. So I want to ask you two, my colleagues. I've known you for years. Are there any teachers that you want to shout out that you work with?
Definitely Brummett, Miss Brummett. She's what is this, her second year?
Third.
Third year. Third year, and she has been busting her butt since she got out there. She just always has a lot of creative ideas, and I just really enjoy working with Miss Brummett.
You looking for me?
Yeah, it's for you.
I would give you a shout out, Mr. Gathers, because you're always fun. And Miss Riley, because she works very hard and she tries so hard and she makes such good relationships with kids. And I would give a big shout out to our new interventionist too. Although she's not a teacher, I think she's doing a great job.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, I appreciate that. I really do. From both of you, Abby and Mr. DeLeo as well too. And I mean, definitely, you two are 2 of my favorite people. So, I mean, y'all know how it is. But I mean, now let's we're kind of creeping up on the end of our time. But I do want to let my students kind of throw in some things, some information as well too. What are some things, because we just got through saying we have an all-star staff in the school building. What are some things that you wish you were taught in the school that you haven't been taught yet? And I'm saying yet because I do know that your teachers are watching this and they really value what you have to say. And I guarantee you, for the most part, if it's within reasoning, they'll put it in the curriculum. So what are some things that you would like to be taught that you haven't been taught yet in school? I know it's a loaded question, but go ahead and fire away.
I wish they would teach more Black history, not just the people you hear every day, like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks. Yes, they did make a big impact, but there are plenty of people who have done things before them who just weren't as recognized as they were. Okay.
Did y'all hear her? Okay, Mrs. Leo. Now you heard of Mrs. Leo, right?
I did, and I love that.
Okay. Now, I couldn't really hear Lexi's mic while we were in the.
Yeah. Did you hear it on the headphones?
No, I didn't hear it in the headphones. So, hold on, I want you to read.
It went out.
It went out? Okay. All right, so you know what? Everyone else heard it, and I'm sure now, if you can reiterate a little bit what Lexi said, because we didn't really hear it in the studio. If you can repeat it, Lexi, a little bit louder for me so I can kind of.
I wish they would teach more on Black history, like not just like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, because those people did make a really big impact, but they weren't the first people to do what they have done.
I like that, because we talked about that in class too. We said that a lot of the individuals that schools teach Black history are the safe choices. You know, the Dr. King and the Rosa Parks and the Harriet Tubmans. They tell you just it's a small piece of it, but they don't tell you the true revolutionary side of it. So yeah, I like that. Yeah, the real. Okay.
Like classes that'll help me in the future. Like, I don't know.
Like what? I mean, like stuff towards your career?
Career choices and like things. Sorry.
Are you okay?
Things I may need for the future, like more how to fill out paperwork.
Oh, okay. Like paying bills and all that kind of stuff. And okay, yeah. So like practical classes. That's what we call it. Practical classes. Yeah, man. That's important too. Like learn how to do a checkbook or how to pay a bill or how to I don't know, fill out taxes. I didn't know how to do my taxes. I was like, what? Carried a tube. Shit, I was old. I told you about that. I got that phone call and they said, Mr. Gellert, you haven't paid your taxes. We coming to get you. I tell you that story? Oh, yeah. Oh, Mr. Gellert was scared. I went right to my mother's house. She said, oh, you messed up. Yeah, so we kind of got a running gag in my classroom. I like to talk about my mom a lot, not in a negative way, but how she raised me. And the kids are like, she's really like that? For the most part, yeah. Yeah, I like that. Both of you said some very profound things. Mr. Leo, Mrs. Ernst, if there's something that you feel you would like to see taught or something that you could teach in the classroom, what would it be? I know it's a loaded question too, but fire away. I already know what I do, but
I think I would piggyback off of Lexi and be permitted to go deeper in a variety of topics. I feel like we have pacing guides that make us like blaze through things really quickly, and I would rather go deeper into different topics that are more relevant to our students today. Is really the way I would want it. So I piggyback off of Lexi. Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and piggyback off Ms. Ernst and say, yes, I would love to slow down and spend more time on different figures in history or different people. I like to bring more, well, which I have tried to bring more novels into it so the kids can relate to. Yeah, I would like to do more of that, but we always have to keep going. You know, I feel like we're always marching on to the next thing.
Let's see, me. Ooh, man. I would say creative writing. I would say creative writing because creative writing will get students to love writing. And if they love writing, then they'll write the harder stuff, like the research papers and all that kind of boring stuff. Kind of like when you're trying to get a kid to eat vegetables, you kind of put a little sugar on it. That's what creative writing is to me. Like, and I would add, here go Lexi. Like I would like with creative writing, I would throw in an emphasis on poetry. Also, I would teach activism. Activism in a way of allowing students to use their voice in a more positive manner. I feel that we shouldn't silence kids. No. Because during the Civil Rights Movement, one of the hardest groups out there was SNCC. I mean, they were so powerful. Dr. King was telling them to kind of back up because they were like, hey, we bout it. We bout that life. So I would like to teach students how to use their voices more effectively. To be diplomatic and to be more powerful like that. So, but then I have one question though. I mean, we all said amazing stuff. Lexi, you did. Abby, you, Mr. Leo, Miss Ernst. The question is, who says we can't do it now? Right? Who says we can't teach all these things now? Who says we can't learn all these things now? Right? Yeah. I mean, in a way, we kind of do it. Because, I mean, on the radio, I gave Mr. Leo and the history department that she leads a strong kudos. And also with Mrs. Ernst teaches in class, a strong kudos too, because we actually sometimes go against the grain and teach those things for our students. Because I hear what goes on. And kids say, oh, yeah, I learned this in Mr. Leo's class. Or we talked about this in Mr. Green. Or we just heard Mrs. Ernst talking about this. So, I kind of challenge all my colleagues who's listening, both who we work with and both who we don't. Go ahead and give the kids what they want. Teach the things that you want. No one's saying you can't do it. I'm kind of a revolutionary, but teaching is a revolutionary sport, profession. So we're at the end of our time, or approaching on it. We got about 3 minutes. Lexi, Abby, is there anything you want to say to close out? You want to give anybody a shout out? You want to say, hey, give Mr. Gathers a huge raise? You know.
I think I've had a teacher that's tried to go out her way and get like different books for us that have like the LGBTQ community and stuff like that, and the school has just told her no because it's, I guess, diverse or something that they don't really want to teach in the schools.
Okay. Excellent.
Try doing new things, like straying from the ordinary, to find maybe what you really enjoy teaching.
Okay.
For teachers.
Okay. Yeah. My little writer. Go ahead. Ms. Ernst?
As sorry. I forgot what our question was.
Closing comment.
Oh, closing comments. What I really enjoyed was listening to the kids' point of view on Teacher of the Year and, you know, the direction that they would like to see it go. I really like having kids' input on who they view as Teacher of the Year.
Okay. And Mrs. DeLeo.
I really enjoyed listening to Lexi and Abby. I don't really know Lexi very well, so now I get to see who you are, and I can say hi to you in the hall. So now I know who you are. And I love having Abby in class, by the way. Hey, Abby, shout out. She's an awesome student. And I just really liked being able to have this chat with everybody. It's nice.
Yeah, Lexi and Abby are two amazing students. I mean, I really enjoyed having Lexi in class. I definitely enjoy having her in advisory. And I enjoy having Abby twice a day. So, I mean, I'm blessed having these two in my classes. I do want to end with this. What you just saw here today was you saw something that's very, very rare. You saw students and teachers having a very, very powerful and productive conversation on the state of education. I strongly urge schools to continue the relationship between students and teachers. Also, involve parents as well, too. Because we are all that village that is behind the pushing and the urging of our students to do better. Because when we sit down, it's their turn to stand up. So why not work together and build the bridge in which we need to cross together? This is RMS Radio with Lexi, with Abby, with our special guest, Ms. Ernst, as well as our Teacher of the Year, Mr. Leo. Congratulations again. We want everyone to stay safe, stay warm, and stay in the house because it's about to snow. You will see RMS Radio again at the end of the month for our Black History Special, and it's going to be a great show. See you all later.